Hi Year 4, I'm back again with the next chapter, so it's chapter 20. Now we've left Cass at the Midnight Sun and we left her, she'd fallen asleep and she was dreaming. Now we're leaving her there, we're not even at the Midnight Sun now, we're going back to Max Ernest in chapter 20. The last doctor Max Ernest consulted, the one who analysed Cass's survivalist tendencies, had a theory about Max Ernest as well. The theory was that Max Ernest talked about the things in order to avoid having feelings about them. The doctor told Max Ernest he should practice having feelings. This may sound silly, but for some people it's very difficult. I myself haven't had a good solid feeling in years. As at a beginning, the doctor suggested Max Ernest might try naming his feelings as soon as he noticed them. Then, instead of shooing them away, Max Ernest might try sitting with his feelings for a while. At first, Max Ernest had been confused about the doctor's suggestions. All the naming and shooing made him think the doctor was talking about household pets rather than human emotions. After speaking to Cass and learning about her trip to the spa, however, he decided to take the doctor's advice. Eyes closed, he sat on the floor trying to identify his feelings. He counted at least 5, not to mention the fact that he was already mad at Cass to begin with, which made 6. He was impressed by the boldness of her plan. He was hurt that she hadn't included him. He was annoyed that he had to lie for her anyway. He was jealous that she would get to have all the excitement. And he was worried that Ms. Morvay would discover who Cass really was. I know we're not collaborators anymore, but I wanted someone to know I was going to the Midnight Sun, in case they figure out who I am and I never come back, Cass had said, by way of explaining her call. If they kill me or something, tell my mum not to get mad at my grandfathers. They don't know I'm going, so it's not their fault if I die. Only after mulling over the conversation for several hours did it occur to Max Ernest that he now knew she was going to the Midnight Sun, and therefore if something happened to her, it would be his fault. He couldn't tell whether that made him feel guilty for not doing anything to stop her, or angry at Cass for putting him in a difficult position. He thought about calling her back to tell her about all his different feelings. Her phone number was right there on his phone. He could call her by hitting one button. But he didn't. He stared at the number, suddenly realising what it meant. Cass's number must have popped up on the spa's phone, too. Which meant Ms. Morvay must have known it was not a skeleton sister who had called. And she had let Cass make the reservation under the skeleton name anyway. It was a trap. It had to be. Quickly, he called Cass's number, but nobody answered. He tried again. And again. When she still hadn't answered after 10 attempts at reaching her, Max Ernest was overtaken by another emotion altogether. Fear.